Unmute me!
Listen to me, you whining little whelp.
From the Gettysburg College studio.
Hi, this is Bo Brinkman.
All the DJs say this one's on its way. Number one.
You think I have something done with science?
Shut up!
You're listening to
From Studio 1A.
The popular podcast addressing Gettysburg.
Yes, sir.
Grab the bolt and hurt my neck.
Addressing Gettysburg Today.
There's no time. Hello, exactly.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and all the ships at sea. It is Addressing Gettysburg Today, and here we are. Veronica's not in today, so filling in for her is the one and only, you might be able to guess this just from the scarf I'm wearing in his honor, Peter Carmichael. Welcome, Pete. I wore this for you.
Very nice.
And
lovely.
it's killing me. It's hot as hell, so I have to open it up.
Is it handmade?
No, I got it from that store. Feel
Man
it.
store.
No, not the man store. Feel it.
What is it?
It's nice and soft, right?
It's nice and soft.
Yeah.
It's not wool. What is it?
I got it from this. I think it's alpaca. Yeah, it's A&A, right by the Thai restaurant.
Right next to Thai, across from Christ Lutheran Church.
Yes.
They've got some nice stuff there.
They do.
Yeah.
They have a good men's section.
Have excellent men's. Good
And
cologne.
Cologne.
Nice bracelets as well.
Like
Is that your bracelet? Did you get your bracelet?
I got my bracelet there. Yeah, like last year.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they've got nice
stainless
stuff.
steel.
Yeah.
And then I got this because I need a good scarf, and this. The problem is I get fuzzies all over the place.
Yeah.
It sheds a lot.
What about your bath salts? Did you get that there? as
But
well?
no, I have not. No, I have not gotten bath salts.
Yeah,
I can't.
people's faces off.
Not those bath salts.
Oh.
I can't take a bath or go swimming for 2 weeks because I had a little minor surgery this week
Oh.
on my leg. And I guess the stitches are the ones that just dissolve and fall out. So I can't be soaking because then they'll dissolve too soon and then I'll have this gaping wound or I don't know what it is. But so I can't enjoy bath salts until a week and a half from now. What, Owen? What is this? This is what? What?
Was it cancerous or no?
Use your words. Jesus.
Well, that was the one you brought up at dinner.
I know. No, okay, so here's what I had. I had a cyst on my left leg, on my thigh. They removed that. Not cancerous.
Okay, good.
I had a thing, tiny little thing, that was very hard that grew on my shin on my right leg. So she froze that. We're going to see what happens.
Like a goiter.
No. Is a goiter hard?
I don't know.
No, this was it was...
I thought that was like an evil spirit. Oh, maybe that's a golem.
It looks like it now. You should see it from the freezing, and it looks really weird. But so she doesn't think it's anything bad, but it's just annoying. But so yeah,
You should do an LBJ for us. I mean, the audience can't see it, but we can. So show us your scars. Like
you want to
LBJ.
see it?
No, well, I was sort of kidding, but I will defer to my friends here if they want to see
I
it.
could take a dump while we're talking like LBJ too, if you want. No, I don't know if I could get it. No, I wouldn't be able to do that. It's look here, see it?
Ooh.
Can you see that?
Yeah.
I can't get
nice.
I'm not a gymnast. I can't get my.
Yeah.
Oh my God, you're
You
gonna
see it?
die
Pretty
in that
flexible.
chair.
Yeah,
That's gross.
Pretty flexible for a fat guy. Yeah, it's nasty. It's all blistered and everything like that. But whatever. This is what happens when you hit 40, they say. Your body starts falling apart, right? Yeah. So what's new in your world, Peter
In my
Carmichael?
world?
Yeah.
So I'm looking at my student Owen right now, and I came here largely to see him in action.
Well, you know what his
shaking
job
his
is
nerves.
here on this show?
I'm curious, yeah.
He is the clapper. Yeah.
It's the only thing you can do reliably.
Okay.
Like when somebody says something that deserves applause, he gets it going.
Yes.
Or even when they don't.
Usually when they don't.
Yeah.
That's the most times that he does is when really it doesn't deserve one.
Nice.
But we've lost momentum, and so he's like, let's get it going. You know, and he's...
if I knew that he, in fact, is served this role here, he should have done that in my classroom. He's in my 8:30 in the morning class.
Oh.
And you can only imagine, for some of the students, they're a little sleepy.
Sure.
And look a little dazed. And so, Owen, why didn't you...
You need that
especially
hype,
after our
man.
appointment. Damn, yeah, absolutely. I make a point. You should have stood up, started clapping. Like, come on, man.
What if McClellan was leading the armies at Richmond in 1865?
I need a cheerleader in my classroom, and you could have done it. And you just sat there silently.
I wrote a lot.
Isn't there a way that you could get him to be like some kind of a teaching assistant, and that's his only job?
There's what they call, ready? We don't call them teaching assistants. Brace yourself. They're called, do you know this, Owen? PLA, which stands for peer. No, we're all equal.
Peer-led assistant.
Peer learning associate, or
Close.
or peer learning assistant. And they're actually the students are great to do it.
That
You
sounds
should
like the people at JCPenney who make sure the khakis stay folded correctly.
Or they spray you with cologne when you walk them by.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
But you're
We're done
with
this
him,
is our
right?
our last week. We had our last class on Thursday. We had ended with reconstruction. I of course never get where I think I'm going to get in class, and we always cut things off. And I should say that I cut things off, and we didn't get to Gone with the Wind. I wanted to show them just excerpts from the second CD, which of course is the end of the war and Reconstruction. So we did not get to that. But we did cover much of the Lost Cause. And so next Wednesday, Thursday, when is your test? It's a take-home?
Ours is due Thursday, but mine's written. So
you're done? Yeah.
It's a take-home test.
I do all take-homes. I don't do anything in class.
So
why?
Because it gives the students the best opportunity to take in, synthesize all the readings, primary, secondary sources, put someone on the spot for 40 minutes and tell them to regurgitate everything they know, and they'll do just that. They'll regurgitate everything they know. So, I'm tough. The standards are a lot higher in terms of writing and execution. You expect a lot of a student who, you've got the question, you've got the time. Now go at it.
Isn't there a greater risk that they would cheat?
We have an honor code at Gettysburg, so no. There is no.
Yeah, but there's no honor code in our overall society. So how does that work? They come to Gettysburg College and suddenly they develop honor? No offense, kids.
Yeah, no, the students take it very seriously. And that doesn't mean that, of course, people don't slip through the cracks. I'm sure they do. But with the take-home, it's pretty difficult to plagiarize. I mean, because the questions themselves do not
lend themselves.
They don't lend themselves to going online and just
right,
cutting and pasting.
There's no Wikipedia entry.
There's no Wikipedia answer for this. And in all seriousness, and this class was very impressive. 8:30 in the morning, and I had more content questions than I've ever had, and some serious stuff from. Let's talk about the sharecroppers' contract and how did they differ. And of course, I'm like, I have no idea. I have no idea. So it's
so was Owen your worst student or second to worst?
Middle. He started off, he made progress throughout the course of the semester. So he was right in the middle of the pack there.
Good.
I really like the papers. I like the ethos you adopt, which is, come to your own conclusions, but you're going to have to write a paper about your conclusions.
Right, you got to back it up.
It's a really good outlet for somebody to make up their mind while they're thinking about what they're going to write about, because there was several parts of the semester, so if I can talk about the final paper.
Please do.
Our final paper is essentially, is Reconstruction worth it, and is calling it a success or a failure useful.
Okay.
And, the first thing I thought was, no, it's not worth it. The Civil War could have been avoidable, but, going through the readings, secession documents, Peoria speech, Sumner's speech, and going through what these people were actually saying versus what is in popular history is, not avoidable.
Right.
And
but what Owen did, and Owen is, I'm glad most of the students probably won't do this. He said to me, I'm not sure this is a very good question.
He said that to you.
Right, and it's true. It's not a good question. I framed it that way.
Where do you get these?
Because Reconstruction, no historical event is either yes or no. So I created a situation that was a binary, and my hope is that the very best students, and I have one of them next to me, is that they're going to come through and give me a more complex answer about Reconstruction, which he did.
You have another student here?
Yeah. That's right. Man, they are hard on you. I told everyone at the beginning of the show, and no one's even clapping for that, man. Only I can do that to my students. I'm going to get defensive of you.
Oh, that's
well,
that's funny.
How about that?
Well, all right. So, do you have Carmichael again next semester?
No, so you're on sabbatical from this spring until
I
fall.
am. My very tough academic life continues. Next year, I'm on leave for an entire academic year. So I'm going to travel the world, try to find myself.
You poor fella. Are you really traveling the world?
No, not at all. I am going to. I would like to go to London, and in London, I want to see my new favorite band. Let's see if Owen pays attention to me. Who is my new favorite band, Owen, that I said on Thursday?
Oasis.
Oh, man.
You were chastising people for being too young.
It's embarrassing when you're culturally more hip than your students.
Is it the Cure?
Right?
Is it the Cure?
Oh my God! I mean, I do like the Cure, but hell, are they even around?
Are they even new?
Robert
I'm pretty
Smith,
sure one of them's dead.
Holdouts?
Maybe. Okay, ready? So I'm going to see in London, if all goes right, the Hold Steady. The Hold Steady, man, they are.
I got half.
They are a fantastic band.
That's the name of the band. The Hold Steady.
I highly recommend them.
I've never heard of them.
They are clean punk. That's what I would say.
Clean punk. Is that your favorite?
I came up with that. I think
you were a punk.
Back in the day.
Did you have like the purple spiked hair?
No, I'd go to Georgetown. No, I didn't do that. But I never got a mohawk. But I love the Clash and.
Oh, the Clash was good. Yeah.
It's that straight edge version.
I like the
punk.
Sex Pistols.
Leather jacket with the chains.
No, I lived in Indiana, man.
You wasn't allowed out there.
It was not allowed. We were pretty clean cut folks.
So, did you play an instrument or anything? Were you like in a band?
I was in a marching band, but
What'd you play in marching
you could
band?
be a marching band. The drums, which
me too.
Right. But you know what?
Which drum did you play?
I played snare and bass. I didn't do anything else. But let's be honest. You know what? A drummer, you could just get a monkey and give them a high caffeinated drink. They can do what a drummer needs to do.
Basically,
so we're not really musicians. Drummers are not.
I agree. Unless you learn to play the xylophone or something like that.
So that's part of percussion.
Yes.
Okay. Did you play the xylophone?
I did. I didn't like it.
That's him.
Wait.
Yeah, I played piano.
Far left.
And the piano. So you're kind of a musician here.
I was kind of a musician.
So, yeah.
Yeah, I've since given it up, but I'm a recovering musician.
Well, there's just not a lot of bands out there that need a person who plays the xylophone, right? There's not a great demand for that.
Exactly. In the marching band, I played bass drum number 5, which was the biggest bass drum. And I have, to this day, a back problem because of it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Bummer.
Yeah, it is a bummer. Well, I mean, it could be worse.
How about a fife and drum chord? Did you ever do? I did that as a reenactor. I love that.
Yeah, I would have loved to.
I always love watching them, but no.
The Williamsburg Fife and Drum.
Yes.
Man, I have all their albums, or I did.
They're second best to the old guard.
I don't know the old guard.
Oh, my God.
Their director was my second grade music teacher.
The old guard.
No,
the
Williamsburg Fife and Drums.
Eric, why don't you like the old guard?
Because they always include bugles.
Yeah, I don't like the bugle parts.
That's dumb.
But they
Knock
shoot
it
guns.
off.
It is dumb. But no. The old guard fife and drum, though, they don't always have bugles, though. They do have
not
some
always,
without
but most
bugles.
of the time.
Yeah, the bugles are kind of lame. And Williamsburg is better because they don't have bugles. I'm with you on
agree.
that.
Commandant Zone's the best, though.
Who?
Oh, yeah,
Commandant
absolutely.
Zone.
The Commandant Zone.
Oh, yeah.
Have you seen the Silent Drill Team?
And
Yes.
the Marine
I
Corps
saw them in boot
speaks.
camp. They came to Paris Island.
He was a Marine.
Yeah.
Colby Sumner was a Marine, and he remember you got in trouble for tripping the guys in the silent drill team. Remember that? You went out. You thought it would be funny because you got really drunk.
Yeah. That's exactly what I did.
They almost kicked him out of the Marines for that. Poor guy.
So have you seen the Silent Drill Team?
Yeah,
they're phenomenal.
Yeah, the Virginia military tattoo is every year in Norfolk, and they have all those guys come in and
down,
perform.
yeah.
Yeah,
Right,
it's really cool.
All right. So, Owen, skip away for a second if you don't mind, because we have somebody up here who we really need to update everybody on. A lot of people were concerned last week. Because Mike Lentz, several weeks ago, hurt his hamstring.
Yeah.
Playing basketball, I think. And
my serious hoop skills. Yeah, all 5'7" of me.
Taking out the garbage, right? Is it,
Right. Yeah.
Right, yeah.
Yeah. Well, first of all, running first, then taking out the garbage.
Running because you were excited to take out the garbage, and then you got to the garbage.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
So initially, you were running, and that's how you heard it?
Oh, absolutely. Because my brain thought I was a mid-20-year-old in shape, and my hamstring went. That's what you think. You're in your mid-30s, and so all of a sudden, bam, it's like, ow, that hurts. It was a strain. And then I was taking out the trash later on. I was out for like 7 to 10 days. And so I come back, I'm like, all right, this is good. I'm well, I'm doing well. And my doctor's like, take it easy. my boss is like, take it easy. Me, I'm like, nope, I'm not taking it easy. So I go and take the trash out, and it's about a 50-pound, 60-pound bag. And so I'm taking the trash out, I'm lifting it up over my head into the dumpster, feel a pop in the back of my leg, instant sharp pain. And I'm like, oh, that's not good. And actually, my boss was working outside at the time. And he goes, Lentz, is that you? I go, yes.
Again.
and in the end, basically, they sent me home, said, no, go get it checked out. Strain again. Still continue on the strain. And so, okay, I decide to come back to work because I need to pay bills. And so they decide, all right, my work goes, we're going to place you on a position that you're not moving. We're going to keep an eye on you.
We're going to make you a table.
Basically, it's like we're going to the whole thing.
And what they do, they put you at the register,
right? Yeah, put me at the register and say, if you need anything, just ask. Don't move. Me? Don't listen. And so I'm walking around, and of course I have this injury, so I'm favoring it. And so I'm compensating. This week, feel a sharp pain in my hip. And I go to the MedExpress, and they say, well, you have a sprained hip. So strained hamstrings, recovering.
On one side.
On one side, and a sprained hip on the other.
Hey, can I just ask, how do you have a 50-pound bag of trash from home? Like, what's going on?
No, this is at work. Yes, I work.
Right. I work at
body. I'm in Chambersburg. I work at the Chick-fil-A down there in Chambersburg, and what we have is trash cans that are trash compactors.
Right.
And so they compact the trash. And so also with liquids, people don't dump out their liquids. They throw it in there. It makes it a very heavy bag, usually. And usually I can handle it. Usually I'm doing pretty good. Except this time, I'm stupid. And I decided to take this, and I'm prideful. I don't want to ask for help. And the consequence was being injured. Yeah. So
you're not stupid. You're a man.
Well,
often they're synonymous, but in this case, you're just a stubborn man who has to do it himself. We have all done.
Absolutely.
I don't have any pride, so I don't understand that.
I'm just honestly surprised they haven't duct taped him to a chair and wrapped him in bubble wrap for a shift yet.
I know.
We're getting there. We're getting there. That's the recommendations now are not to lift anything over 20 pounds. Okay, good. And that I have limited duty. I can't go running. I can't do anything strenuous. I think they're just going to bolt me to the register and be like, you're not going anywhere.
I have to say, though, that the bosses that you have are very patient. I mean, I know, like, if I got sick twice in one winter at some jobs I had, they'd be like, I can't rely on you. You got to go.
Right.
And you're getting hurt literally twice a week.
Well, kind of. It seems like that. I mean, just to give an idea of how the year started, my owner-operator decorates for Christmas, but he doesn't pull the decorations up until maybe February. I was working as an outside order taker at Chick-fil-A, because at Chick-fil-A what we do is we send people out with iPads. Instead of rolling up to the speaker, they go out there, and it's a personable but also accuracy. You don't have to hear through a headset, okay, is this accurate? You actually see the people talking to you.
Right.
Well, I was doing that, and I was moving to get to a car behind by going into the parking lot, and there's some bushes that kind of afforded a division between the parking lot and the drive-through lane. There were a string of lights between the bushes, and I wasn't paying attention. And so I move up, I move around, I go across back into the lane, I trip over the Christmas lights, face plant right into the drive-through, sprain my ankle. That's how my year started.
Jesus Christ.
And that was just the beginning of the year.
That was the beginning of the year.
Let me ask you, Mike, are you hourly or salary?
Hourly.
Oh.
So, yes.
So that's got to hurt then.
Salary,
when you're,
I would understand, like, a lot of sick days.
Sure, right.
Like
Yeah.
that. Man,
They're very kind over there at Chick-fil-A, and that's why I like working there.
I gotta get into Chick-fil-A.
Wait. What do you love the waffle fries, or does that get old? Like you work there every day, right? You work at a place you're like, oh,
Chick-fil-A corporate is very protective of their taste profile. Very much. My only contribution to the board, besides my laugh.
Oh, no, you got this one, too.
Oh, well, there you okay. So, for me, the food after a while, after you've worked there a long time, you're like, okay, it's good.
But I'm sick of it.
I'm doing it because they're giving it to me.
Right.
For about $9 a shift, essentially. You can choose whatever you want, salads, shakes, whatever. You got $9 to work with.
Yeah.
And so I take it because it's there. It's good product. I like it.
It's delicious.
It's just I've been eating it every day for years.
Of course,
So,
you can't eat that stuff all the time. I understand. I understand. Well, you know, Mike, because of all these stories now, you have an official theme now.
Oh,
Okay? So
All
this,
right.
ladies and gentlemen, is the unveiling of the Mike Lentz theme song. Okay, so every time it'll be like, you know, if you're back there where Owen is, for example, it'll be like, Mike, come here, I got a question for you. And then as you're walking over, like, okay, Mike's coming up to the microphone now, and there it is. Happy very Mike. You know,
Well, we joke about that.
We do.
But Owen said an answer that I found humorous last time I was in here.
All right.
I laughed so hard I actually blacked out for a moment and almost fell off the stool.
True.
It's incredible. It really is. I have no idea how you've lived as long as you have. It's legitimately impressive.
But one more story from work, and this also happened this year.
Right.
So I'm training a new trainee, and I'm showing them how to use the cardboard compactor. And I'm going off, I'm like, this is how you're supposed to do it. This is how you function. And the thing about the cardboard compactor is the latching mechanism is sharp. So I put the cardboard in. I'm closing the door by the handle that locks the mechanism. And that's going in right here. And my hand slips down. And the latching mechanism hits my wrist and slices it.
Ooh.
I'm standing there, my wrist bleeding. I look at the trainee and say,
Spurting out.
I say, see that? Don't do that. So that also happened this year. So yeah, there's a fair amount that's gone on at work this year.
Wow. Well, Mike, let's hope that that's enough, at least until January. Okay? And then we could start 2022 with a whole new list of injuries to go off of. Or perhaps none. Maybe 2022 will be your year where there's no problem. That's what we're hoping for. Yes. Where were you on that one, Owen?
He wants to see where this goes, actually.
All right. Well, thanks, Mike. Thank you very much for sharing that update. Because I know people were very worried last week. I mean, Ricky Fowler was very concerned about you.
Yes.
So I'm glad we got that update there. Let's see, a couple of other things here before we go to our break. What else was there? Your injury? Okay, next week, ladies and gentlemen, is the last live show of 2021. And it'll be our big holiday blowout. So all are invited. I mean, all you guys in the room. But not all of you, because we don't have that much room in here. We barely have enough room for who's here. But yeah, that'll be the last show of the year. I can't believe 2021 is over already. That is super crazy. Yeah, so that's one thing you got to keep in mind. Also, when we do come back in January, we will be broadcasting live on the Tube of You as opposed to the Book of Faces. And the reason for that, Eric and I were talking about this the other day, is that Facebook sucks. It basically just sucks. Yeah, thank you.
All right. Yeah.
Why does it suck?
It sucks because, and it's not the Facebook followers that suck. It's Facebook's way of doing things, the algorithm and everything like that. And so, like, once you put out a show, if you post something the next day or whatever, that's just pushing everything down. So if people don't catch the show live, it's harder for them to just stumble upon it.
Right.
Whereas on YouTube, it's a lot easier. You can just do it live. It's archived right there,
Right.
and then you have a much wider net on YouTube as well. So what, Eric? We got comments.
Yeah, Ray Stowe says chicken sandwiches at Chick-fil-A are going up by $2 to cover Mike's insurance expenses.
That's a good one. I like that.
Oh, well, there you okay.
Yeah, we got a good email later on from Ray's wife, Carrie. So, okay, let's do this. Let's take a break. Pete brought some books with him. He's going to, these are the books that he recommends you get if you want to read some books about the Civil War and Gettysburg. Is it mostly Gettysburg books that you got with you today?
Absolutely.
Mostly, yeah, okay.
I mean, I have strong connection to Gettysburg.
Sure, okay. Well, we'll take a break and we'll be right back with Pete's books and a lot of other things. Don't go anywhere, folks, and call in. We would like to talk to you, okay? Have a good one. Don't have a good one. We'll be right back.
Sit tight. Matt and the gang will be back in just a bit.
You've heard us promote various ways that you can help us keep the show going. But one way we haven't pushed too much yet is our sutlery at addressinggettysburg.com/shop. And that's a shame, because we have designs over there by talented artists like Ty DeWitt of 1863 Designs and Mike Stretch of the Heritage Depot. So now we're promoting it. Buying shirts, hoodies, mugs, and other items from our sutlery not only helps us keep the lights on, but it also helps guys like Ty and Mike, and it helps spread the word about the show every time you wear an item or sip from your mug. So please, head over to addressinggettysburg.com/shop and grab some merch. You just might find the perfect Christmas gift for the Gettys nerd in your family. That's addressinggettysburg.com/shop. Experience the magic of Christmas in Gettysburg. Stroll decorated streets on a festive walking food tour highlighting the sights, sounds, and unique tastes of this historic town. Enjoy stops at some of the best eateries, all while learning fascinating facts about early Christmas traditions. Admire the glittering lights, decorated storefronts, and our grand 30-foot Christmas tree in Lincoln Square, all adding to the ambiance of the most wonderful time of the year. Get started on Christmas shopping for your loved ones as we visit a few downtown stores that offer one-of-a-kind Christmas gifts. A perfect opportunity for any last-minute gift hunting you need to get done. Enjoy a private holiday tour through the Shriver House with dessert in the Shriver Saloon. This special tour will transport you back in time to Christmases of yesteryear. So make a new Christmas tradition with your family and friends. The Christmas Tastes and Traditions food tour promises to be delicious, delightful, and decidedly local. Go to SavorGettysburgFoodTours.com and book your tour today. That's SavorGettysburgFoodTours.com.
Think outside the bus and let family-owned Gettysburg Tours take you on a cycling journey across the picturesque and historic Gettysburg battlefield. There's no better way than by bicycle to gain a feel for the terrain of the battlefield. Slow enough to see it all, yet fast enough to do it all. Follow the route of Union troops entering the fray as you ride to the site of the first shots of this epic 3-day battle. Feel the drama as you put yourself in the position of a Confederate soldier just before he steps off to make Pickett's charge. Take a stand with the heroic Colonel Chamberlain on the slopes of Little Round Top just before you view the fields of honor beneath you from its summit. All of our guides are officially licensed by the National Park Service. So don't get a sore neck trying to see out of your car and saddle up with Gettysburg Tours for a 360-degree view of America's most important piece of real estate. Gettysburg Tours. Think outside the bus. Go to gettysburg.com or call 717-752-7752 to book a battlefield experience you will never forget.
Have you noticed our revamped website at addressinggettysburg.com? Well, that's the fine work of a man named Mike Stretch, and he also redid our logo for us. Both of them I originally designed, and both of them were originally horrible, but now they're nice, and that's all thanks to Mike. Mike has an awesome t-shirt company called Heritage Depot. There you'll find great designs based on Gettysburg and the Civil War with t-shirts and other types of merchandise. So go to heritage-depot.com heritage-depot.com and spruce up your Getty's Nerd wardrobe. That's heritage-depot.com. Our favorite bookstore in Gettysburg is For the Historian, located at 42 York Street. It's because they have the best selection of Civil War books in Gettysburg, both new and used. And online, they have even more to choose from. And if the Civil War isn't your thing, that's not a problem. This is For the Historian, after all. They cover history from the ancient world to the 21st century with a strong selection of World War II and American Revolution books. It's astounding how many thousands of titles from Osprey, Savas Beatty, UNC Press, and more they have in their store. And that's because, well, they have a warehouse too. And that's where they keep all the books that are available online at forthehistorian.com. And folks, if you go to forthehistorian.com now and order books until you're blue in the face, be sure you mention that you heard about them on Addressing Gettysburg in the Note to Seller box, and they will refund your shipping costs. And if you prefer to stop by when you're in town, well, you could do that too. Just mention Addressing Gettysburg at checkout, and they'll take 20% off the retail price of your item. So go to forthehistorian.com, stop by 42 York Street, or you can call them at 717-685-5207. That's forthehistorian.com or 717-685-5207.
Dancing days are here again, and so are Matt and Veronica.
Hi, Veronica. How are you?
I'm sorry. I can't do a high-pitched voice for you. I know that's what you're open for, but I can't do it.
Well, what good are you then?
Absolutely.
If you want to call, talk to Dr. Carmichael about any of the books that he's got here. If you have any questions, feel free to give us a call. The phone number is 717-420-1978. We'd love to hear from you, so please call in. We already have a caller here that I think is Bill Etzkorn. Is this the great Bill Etzkorn, ladies and gentlemen? Do we have him on the phone here?
It is the great Bill Etzkorn.
Okay, how you doing, Bill?
I'm counting the minutes down before I leave to come down.
Oh, really?
Yeah, waiting for my wife to get home from work.
Okay, so you're still back up there.
Oh my God, I love Bill Etzkorn.
Oh, Eric loves you.
What is happening?
Wow.
Wow, that's pretty good.
Oh my God, I love Bill Etzkorn.
What's wrong, Eric?
Where the hell did that come from? Oh my God, I love Bill Etzkorn.
It came from your mouth.
I told you to get a bag of phallic items.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's right. Yeah.
Oh my God, I love Bill Etzkorn.
Yeah. That's right. So anyway, Bill, what's going on with you? What are you calling for?
I feel bad for Mike.
For Mike?
I feel bad for Mike. Mike wants tomorrow night. I'll take him out to dinner.
So hold on, Mike's getting over to the mic so he can hear. Say that again, Bill.
If Mike would like, I would love to take him out to dinner tomorrow night. So he has a good ending to 2021.
Sure.
Oh my God, I love Bill Etzkorn.
That's pretty great. That's good. That's very nice of you, Bill.
Yeah, very nice. Thank you.
By the way, Bill, I had 2 surgeries this week.
Okay.
Yeah. No free dinner for me. Okay. All right, I get it.
Well, it was
my
implied
God,
that
I love.
No longer love Bill Etzkorn. What? Say that
it's
again.
always implied you're going to be there.
I didn't understand what you're saying.
It's
Are you
always
drinking
implied
already?
that you're going to be there.
Oh, yes. Gotcha. Oh, okay.
And I'm deaf.
I'm deafer.
Stop being a bad
I'm sorry.
influence to the kids.
Oh, there we go. Yeah. Good influence there, Eric.
Whatever.
All right.
Since I can't fly Patrick Gorman in.
We'll figure something out. Well, maybe you can get, I don't know, maybe you can drive someone else down or something. All right. Well, Bill, listen, we've got some books that we have to do. Carmichael is he's in a big hurry tonight. So we've got to. No. I'm just trying to get off the phone with Bill.
Sorry.
That's called wrap it up.
Thank you. Very well.
Bill, I'll see you when you're down here this weekend. All right.
All right, I'll talk to you guys later.
All right. Thank you, Bill. Thank you for the call. Okay. So Pete Carmichael has got some books that he'd like to share with us. It's a show and tell tonight, ladies and gentlemen.
They're just the books that I've authored. Is that okay? I just self-promote. I lied to you. I said I was going to bring in all kinds of different books about Gettysburg, but it's just going to be about
It's all
me.
your book with just fake covers on it.
I've got 2 daughters that are headed off to college. I got to get my sales up, man.
That's right. Now, are they going to Gettysburg?
No,
they don't want to go.
They don't want to be around Daddy.
Right.
No, that's not really true. One wants to be a French pastry chef and wants to go to Paris. We'll see how that goes. And the other one wants to work with horses. I'm not exactly sure where that will take her, but certainly Gettysburg College does not facilitate either one of those degrees.
No, horses are great. I love horses.
Beaver,
oh my God.
Beaver College, I believe, has a pretty decent veterinary science program.
There you go.
Yeah, and it's not vets that she wants to do. It's all sort of very complex. But yes, I'm surprised you love horses. I think they're beautiful animals, but they are. To my surprise, they are so incredibly skittish. Clearly, I didn't know anything about horses until my daughters became obsessed. And they take my Gettysburg College paycheck and I just send it to Sawhorse Farms. Right?
Oh, there you go.
It is inexpensive. I was hoping my daughters would want to do cross country, like some tennis shoes, maybe like some shorts, and that's it.
Yeah,
but no. But I've always been, and I'm sure some people know about this. How in God's name, in the Civil War, were they able to train these horses to be able to maintain some kind of alignment in combat?
Beat the hell out of them.
I don't know. I mean, they had I assumed that they had to do some kind of serious training where they were firing blanks, right, to get the animals used to the firing. Oh, do you know this?
They had to do all these things to get them used to it. Yeah,
I know the school in Carlisle had a huge horse training program,
absolutely,
and then they turned it into a native residential school. So
they had to do all those types of things to get them used. You can't just throw them into a battle.
Right.
Like 1 million horses died during the Civil War?
Something like that. I don't remember.
Well, the Virginia, it used to be Virginia Historical Society, right? It's changed its name, and it's now the Virginia Museum of History and Culture. And they have what is, I think, a pretty impressive statue. It's a lone horse, and it is dedicated to all the horses that were killed during the Civil War.
Oh, that's cool.
It is. It's actually worth seeing, right? I think it's pretty good. I'm looking at Owen when I say that. He was a Virginian, and he would know. He knows it all.
Their building's really beautiful, too.
Yeah.
They had that portrait room of all the Civil War paintings.
Battle Abbey.
Yeah, that's great.
Battle Abbey. And again, I'm off the record. I'm not off the record now. I'm live. I can't say off the record.
No.
I would be surprised that someday that Battle Abbey, which is, in essence, celebrates the Army of Northern Virginia,
will be burnt down.
We probably will find it in a dusty corner someplace.
Yes.
Right?
So see it while you can.
See it
folks.
while you can, kids.
All right. So what books? Some of the books that you got here.
I'm just going to mention a few, and you all can jump in. You probably hear
open forum.
It's an absolutely open forum. The first one that I have is Edward Porter Alexander's Fighting for the Confederacy, edited by Gary Gallagher. I think almost everyone probably listening in here is familiar with it. Just a little backstory about the book. Did you like to hold it? Hold it up, please.
While you talk
I've got the paperback version there as well. Edited by Gary Gallagher, formerly of University of Virginia. He did this book, though, when he was at Penn State. And he was alerted to Alexander's personal memoirs. Now, many of you know that Alexander published what's called military memoirs, but there is another set that Robert K. Crick, the longtime historian at Fredericksburg and Spotsylvania National Military Park, he had discovered them, I put quotes around that, at the University of North Carolina at their special collections. And no one could make sense of it. There were these massive ledger books. Alexander wrote them after the war, of course, when he had a position with the federal government in Nicaragua. And everyone noted that they were different from the published military memoirs, different in so many key ways. But above all else, Alexander felt absolutely liberated to include anecdotes that you wouldn't see in a published book, anecdotes that describe R.E. Lee. Ready? Brace yourself. Lee actually got angry. Can you believe
No,
that?
I can't
He
imagine.
lost his temper. Who would have ever thought?
I mean, he was human after all.
You know, he absolutely was,
Amazing.
according to Alexander. So Alexander, of course, is highly critical. I shouldn't say highly critical, but he is critical of Lee, critical of Longstreet. He is not worried about getting reprimanded by the lost cause thugs, such as Jubal Early. So those volumes were down at UNC. Nobody knew really how they came about, how to piece them together. Gallagher was alerted to it by Robert K. Crick. He went down there, and for more than a week before, Gallagher read Alexander's private correspondence or personal correspondence from Nicaragua to his daughter. And that private correspondence, it enabled Gallagher to knit together these massive volumes that Alexander had written. And so the consequences fighting for the Confederacy. There's not a single more important book from Lee's Army in Northern Virginia.
Yeah.
There's not even a close second to it. And when it comes to Gettysburg, which I believe, I should know this off the top of my head, has 3 chapters, one on the Gettysburg campaign and 2 chapters on the battle. Pretty sure I'm right about that. And look, I read this time and time again. I know many of you have that are in the studio right now. And man, it's fresh insights, right?
Yeah.
All over the place. That I just, God, how did I miss this before? And his crucial role, Alexander's, in orchestrating, or being a part of, I shouldn't say orchestrating, the bombardment on July 3rd it's a remarkable description by Alexander. I don't think it shows Longstreet in his best light because there is that give and take between Longstreet and Alexander during the bombardment, in which Longstreet is trying to shift the onus of the attack on Alexander to get Alexander to call it off. Alexander showed the dispatch that Longstreet had written to Wright, Ambrose Wright, the Georgian, and Wright read it and said, "Oh my God, look, that's what he's trying to do here." But then what goes beyond that is Alexander, who is an engineer, West Point trained, he has got that analytical mind, and he is able to break down the Battle of Gettysburg and have us think about it in complex ways. He thinks, Alexander, I should say, thought that the great Confederate failure at Gettysburg was a failure to recognize that the most vulnerable part on the Union line was Cemetery Hill. And he believed, and I see his point, because if you look at Cemetery Hill, it resembles the Confederate position at Spotsylvania, the mule shoe, that salient, that bulge that's sticking out. And Alexander said that's where the Confederate artillery and infantry should have concentrated. And of course, they tried to do that, but Robert Rhodes, for whatever reason, one of the great mysteries of July 2nd, why he didn't do what everyone expected him to do. So fighting for the Confederacy, I can't say enough good things about it. Peppered again with all these great anecdotes. I'll leave us with one, and we can then talk about other things if you like. Alexander said that prior to the Pickett's assault, he saw some Mississippi soldiers. It appeared to him that they were rifling through the personal effects of a dead Confederate. And of course, Alexander's a professional man, West Pointer, as I said. He rode over to these 2 soldiers. He reprimanded them. He said he was going to bring them both up on charges. And the men said to him, this soldier's not dead. He's drunk, and he's our surgeon. And he does this time and time again, and we are taking his instruments from him so we can help our own wounded.
Right.
And Alexander, again, got their names, including the name of the surgeon. And then, of course, during active operations, you don't have time for a court-martial.
Sure.
But when the armies finally came to a halt, and it's after the Knoxville campaign, so we're talking now fall of 63, finally set up the court-martial, and Alexander said that it appears that this doctor had some influential friends in the Army. These influential friends got to these 2 soldiers and said to these soldiers, you know what, you're going to change your story. And they changed it from the man was drunk, that he was instead, in essence, high off or stoned off of opium. So there's the lesson.
How's that any better?
Well, there you go. In the Army of Northern Virginia, if you want to get off from doing duty, don't get drunk. Just get stoned on opium, right?
Okay.
So
very good.
Well, because it was opiates, people are taking it for legit reasons for pain.
Yeah, sure.
That must
so then it would be okay. So it's an understandable excuse because everybody was not
it
everybody,
is,
but a
but
lot
also
of people
I think
were getting hooked.
the main reason is that this physician, he had officers that were willing to protect him.
Sure,
and that's exactly.
You kind of. It sounds like you need to protect your physicians because there's not a lot of them.
I would say,
so what if he's a drunk?
Well, if he's incapable, then I guess of doing his job. I mean, again, it would be interesting to see the man's his service record. I don't know anything about that, but I think that the level of drunkenness on both sides far exceeds what we can possibly imagine, especially before battle. I think they're all taking a little bit of swig here and there to get themselves through it. There's some good work that's out there that's about to come out in about a year or so that looks in a very systematic and detailed way about alcohol use and drunkenness in Civil War armies.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, I don't know if we'll have any surprises there, but it was certainly pervasive, no doubt about it.
What other books you got here?
Okay, let's.
By the way, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to call in with a recommendation of your own or a question, 717-420-1978 at the bottom of your screen. Okay, go ahead.
So I would just say the counterpart of Edward Porter Alexander on the Union side, who is an artillerist, is Charles Wainwright, A Diary of Battle, edited by Alan Nevins. It's in paperback. You can hold it up to the screen there. A Diary of Battle. Charles Wainwright, man, this is absolutely a phenomenal account, and it is just that, a diary. It's not something that Wainwright came back and he elaborated upon or made more pretty. It's in the moment. He, again, is just eviscerates everyone. He has just got a critical eye. He goes after his superiors at Antietam. He goes after Joseph Hooker and makes the point that Hooker's initial assault at Antietam was done out of pure ambition, that the 1st Corps and the 12th Corps, that they actually could have been coordinated, but Hooker went off because Hooker, of course, wanted all the glory and ambition. So you get those kinds of insights throughout the volume. And Gettysburg, of course, what's Wainwright responsible for, but much of the artillery, including July the 1st on Seminary Ridge, where those final Confederate attacks occurred under Dorsey Pender. So it is a great book. He writes shortly after the battle about the desecration of the dead, including the Union dead, and he also has, Wainwright, a condemnation of the civilians of Gettysburg. He thought they were not patriotic. He thought that they were not giving to the Union Army itself.
And he's not the only one.
He is not the only one. Well, hell, it's a democratic town, and above all else, and people can comment on this, but I would say that the summer of 1863 is not a bright and shiny moment for the state of Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania civilians didn't rise up and flock to the ranks as one might expect.
Right.
And although at the same time we should also note that many of the Union soldiers, as they entered Pennsylvania, they certainly acknowledged that there was civilian support and enthusiasm. So not all were indifferent, but there's a lot more indifference. I mean, hell, look, Gettysburg College, which was Pennsylvania College, I'm still shocked. What's happening on July 1st? Do you know, Owen? What are they doing on July 1st? Class. What? I mean, seriously, you think that that's going to happen at the University of Virginia? If a Union Army approached them, they'd already canceled classes. I mean, it's just, again, it's surprising to me. I can't make any great conclusions about it except to simply say, I'm shocked.
It's very interesting to read about the civilians in the week leading up to the battle and how, some people don't get what's going on. Right. And they're oblivious to the danger that's brewing, the storm that's brewing. And then other people get it very easily. And they're like, this is trouble,
Yeah.
Was that Michael Jacobs who kept his class going, right?
Yeah.
And then finally, because all the boys were looking out the window, he finally said, forget it.
And then what did Jacobs do to his son, remember, during the battle? Didn't he push his son on top of the roof of their house? Right?
Oh,
because
they were
he's interested in meteorology.
Yes.
I mean, all that. I mean, the men in here have always had their dads. Boy, go do that. And you're like, man, damn, that looks dangerous. You'll be fine, boy.
Yeah.
Right. There's Jacobs doing that. Get up on that roof, boy. It'll be okay. Dad,
a
shells
shell
flying
just flew over my head.
Right. It's fine. Just duck.
Yeah. Just duck. Right. Just lay low.
Don't be stupid, boy. Duck.
We got one call here. Let's see who this is and what they want to talk about. Caller, you're on the air, 603.
Hey there, my name is Will Alexander. How are you guys?
Good. Will Alexander, I know you.
Yeah.
Yeah, you used to work, I know you from years ago.
Yeah, I used to work for Mark Nesbitt. Long time back.
Yeah. Are you still in Gettysburg, or are you...
No, I'm in New Hampshire now.
New Hampshire.
I find it interesting that, though, that UP Alexander's book, Fighting for the Confederacy, was the first one that was mentioned, because at one point when I lived there, I wanted to impersonate him and actually have people come through and, have dinner with the colonel, basically.
Uh-huh. And did you?
Which was kind of cool since we have the same last name. No, it never ended up happening. But I did end up writing a murder mystery called Ghosts Don't Die that takes place in Gettysburg in the ghost tour industry.
Right, you wrote that. Right, that's right. I remember when you were writing this. That was a while ago, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It's been like 10 years or so.
Yeah, right. And so that's out. It's published and everything.
Oh, yeah. It's available on Amazon. I've even written somewhat of a sequel to it that doesn't take place in Gettysburg, but it mentions Gettysburg quite a bit. And the sequel is called Reichskinder.
What is it called?
Reichskinder, like Children of the Reich. It's,
Reich.
It's kind of a political thriller. It's
okay.
kind of a political thriller as opposed to a murder mystery.
Gotcha. So the Ghost, I'm sorry, Ghosts Don't Die is a murder mystery about the ghost tour businesses in town, if I recall, right?
On it. Mostly because I used to work for them.
Right.
It's based on it. I mean, if you read it, you'll recognize, for the most part, you'll recognize the personalities involved in the characters.
Yeah. No, I
know who that is.
I remember when you were writing it. I know exactly who you wrote it about. I remember this. Yeah, that was.
Well, it's funny that writers base characters on
real life.
In some cases,
yeah.
It makes the character a lot more fleshed out, and that's how Ghosts Don't Die came into being.
So how can people get a hold of your book if they want to read it?
All they have to do is go right on to Amazon, and it's the only book called Ghosts Don't Die.
Okay, Amazon, Ghosts Don't Die. Will Alexander, is that you go by Will or William? How do you?
It will be under William, but in everyday conversation, I go by Will.
Okay, yeah, no, okay. So William Alexander, Ghosts Don't Die, on Amazon. Do you have anything to say? Do you have a recommendation for a good Gettysburg book?
Absolutely.
Well, I still think that the Tilly Pierce book at Gettysburg was always a very interesting little read. Most especially because a lot of people don't seem to remember it these days.
Right.
They want something more flashy, like, oh, hey, what came up? What did General Lee do at this point? Or why was Custer coming up at the end? But they're not really looking at the basics behind the everyday Gettysburg person that was living there at the time, who was more or less forced into being a nurse in their own home.
Right.
At Gettysburg, most certainly.
So at Gettysburg, the Tilly Pierce book, What a Girl Saw, right?
That's
or
right.
The Girl Who Saw Everything, as some people call it.
Yes.
Hey, Will, it was great to hear from you.
Down what she saw.
What's that?
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, I said at least she wrote down what she saw. A lot of people didn't.
Yes. Well, that's true. It's great to hear from you. I hope you're doing well up there in New Hampshire, and good luck with the book and all that stuff. And thanks for calling in.
I've taken my.
Not a problem.
All right. I'll talk to you later. Keep watching. Keep calling.
I've taken my class on Ghost Tour.
You sorry?
I take my class on ghost tours. We do a class here that focuses on museums and interactions with cultural institutions, and I think that it's important for students to understand what captivates people when it comes to the past. I'm elitist about many things, but when it comes to the ghost tours, I get it. People they want to feel the past, and and that is one way. That's an entry point. I mean, my hope is that, of course, that might lead to them to read and to think about some other things. But
we're all still hoping.
Where's your optimism? It's gone, man. You're not that old to become cynical about these.
I was this cynical when I was his age. I mean, I was born an old man.
Yeah,
it's really sad. Yeah. This book, A Diary of Battle by Wainwright, not a lot of pictures.
Yeah, not a lot of pictures or even maps, but it is
just
it's in paperback now, and you can get it on Amazon.
All right, give us one more. What else?
We'll just do one more.
Yeah.
Well, you know what?
Actually,
which one would you like to do?
That one.
Okay. So my predecessor, Gabor Bort, at the Civil War Institute conference every year, what Gabor did, and I did not follow suit, and it's complicated why I didn't. He would have speakers who would then present, of course, their papers at the conference, and then those papers would then become part of a book. And he did a number of volumes based upon the conference. And I've never been able to do that, in large part because I'm just not a very good editor. That's the main reason why. But Gabor was superb. And so the book I'm referring to is the Gettysburg Nobody Knows, which is still in paper. The Gettysburg Nobody Knows. Gabor Bort is the editor. It has a very, very strong lineup. Gabor himself has written a piece, but Harry Fons about July 1st and Richard Ewell, and it's called Old Jack Isn't Here Anymore. Emory Thomas, who wrote a number of things on the Confederacy, including a biography of Lee, history of Richmond, and a history of Confederacy. Emory Thomas, he has a piece on Jeb Stuart. Carol Reardon. Carol Reardon has something to do, the title is called, I Think the Union Army Had Something to Do with It. Pickett's Charge That Nobody Knows. I have to say, I love Dr. Reardon. And the book here, The Gettysburg Nobody Knows.
Yeah.
Those kinds of titles, really, come on. It's like this, the recent slate of books that have come out on slavery, The Untold Story. I'm like, already I'm suspicious. Of course it's not untold.
Right.
Come on, let's get rid of it.
Yeah.
And then the one that I think, there's Joe Glatar here.
So you don't like the title, the Gettysburg No One Knows?
I'm not crazy about it. The one piece in that I love is Joe Glatar. And just a quick side note, one of the most underappreciated books to come out in the last 15 years is his General Lee's Army. It is brilliant.
You're right, Owen?
It is brilliant. Okay. General Lee's Army, I cannot say enough good things. The research is exhaustive. Just to give you a little Gettysburg tidbit, one of the reasons why Confederate shells were overshooting their targets on July the 3rd was not because they had bad aim, but it was because the ordnance that the A&V artillery was using had been changed right before the campaign. They did not have an opportunity to test it. And so many of the shells were exploding not prematurely as they often did, but
late.
They exploding just a little bit late. So that's one that made me, Joe Glatar is an archive rat.
Okay.
And he's working on the Army of the Potomac right now.
You archive rat. Sorry, I had to do it. It wasn't even good.
Well, it's pretty good. So he has a piece in this that's called The Common Soldier's Gettysburg Campaign. And among the many things that he argues, and I actually don't agree with him about this. There you go.
Yeah.
Glatar says that during the Pennsylvania campaign that there was a breakdown in discipline in Lee's army. I think, there was more of a breakdown than what people acknowledge, but that breakdown in discipline during the campaign, that it actually spilled over into the battle itself, and so the army lacked its typical efficiency and coordination that it's seen on other battlefields, which I don't agree with at all. I mean, the Army of Northern Virginia fights at Gettysburg with the determination and aggressive spirit that we'd seen prior to this.
Of course.
And the lack of coordination is a lack of coordination that is the reality of working on exterior lines. And Lee, again, I mean...
Diarrhea.
Absolutely. I mean, it hurts all of us.
It does.
Yes, some of my worst days of my life, my least inefficient days are, when
I mean, honestly,
stuck in the bathroom.
It sounds like I'm just trying to be a child, but I mean, to me, that's a big deal.
Seriously,
old man with diarrhea.
It is.
Come on.
Yeah, it's tough to
in an army situation.
Yeah, but if your tummy is still hurting you, how about this? Call a council of war, right, on the night of July 2nd. And why is it that James Longstreet, who is, in essence, just down the road, right? Why is it that he doesn't venture toward the area that we know of these headquarters? I mean, we'll never know, but that is, of course, more than mystifying. No, and I think it underscores, obviously, I admire Longstreet for many reasons, but I think his Gettysburg performance is lackluster at best. And he certainly is, I don't know if you'd call it pouting, but he's not exhibiting the cooperative spirit that one would expect. There's a good example of it. I think he sends a staff officer down to Lee. I think that's it, on the night of the 2nd. And what's Lee doing? Like, why in God's name is he not demanding, insisting upon that his officers, his key subordinates come together?
Yeah.
I mean, they do that on the morning of the 3rd, but that seems to be almost just
it's a little late.
Just a tad late.
Yeah.
Just
well,
a tad late.
I guess better late than never,
Absolutely. So, yes, the Gettysburg Nobody Knows, Gabor Bort, all these books are all paper, all of them at Amazon, all worth your time.
All right, very good. So then let's do this here. Give us one more. Give us one more.
Let me just do one that I'm sure many in the audience are not familiar with. The Boys from Rockville. It is the Civil War narrative and letters of Benjamin Hurst, 14th Connecticut. Again, you all Gettysburg here can help me with the brigade. They're at the Union Center on July the 3rd. What's great about Hurst is he has these amazing letters, and then he wrote a narrative that accompanied it at the time. And so you get this rich detail, layered detail from letters, in the moment, and then just a few days later, he then expands upon that in his description of Pettigrew and Pickett's charge. He's, of course, is looking at Pettigrew's men, is just absolutely unparalleled. So if you want an on-the-ground account, that's it. And then let me give you a second one very quickly. I'll get my money's worth here. Haskell of Gettysburg, Frank Haskell, Wisconsin staff officer, man, his writings about the Union defense on July 3rd are unbeatable. They're unbeatable. We talked about horses. He has a great story about his own horse. He said when the cannonade started on the 3rd, he said any horse that wasn't tied down bolted. He said his horse was tied down and eating oats. And then when he went to get his horse sort of looked at him and said, basically, I'll be with you in just a moment here. I'm going to finish my oats, right? And so the horse carried him through the battle, got hit, the horse did, and ultimately died. And he writes this beautiful tribute to his horse. But the description of the fighting in the Union defense there is simply nothing better. Haskell, I believe he gets killed at Cold Harbor, I believe, right?
Cold Harbor, he makes it all the way to
survive.
Cold
He
Harbor.
does not survive, but it's worth reading.
Yeah, I read that a long time ago. I have to dust that off because that was a good one. Yeah,
absolutely, it's worth getting.
All right, well, so those are the books that just some of the books that Pete brought along and recommends to you. So I hope that you take advantage of that and get them. But I already did that one. Let's do this one. Anyway, we're going to take another break. We'll come back with some show news, listener emails, and are you leaving, Pete? Or you said you're only going to stay an hour?
You know what? I'm so sorry.
He's got to go.
I've got to go.
So let's say goodbye
hey, man,
to Pete.
It's great to be on the show. I wish everyone, especially those listening, to have a wonderful holiday. Merry Christmas, right?
Yeah.
And my buddy here, Owen, he takes it hard here. I've got to come back just to
beat him up.
No, to protect him. It's like Animal House. Remember in Animal House when they look out and there's the ROTC and there's two guys. They say, "Wait a minute, only we can do this to our pledges, not them," right? And they hit the golf balls and hits one of the horses. I feel the same way. I can only treat my students that way. Nobody else. I'm very protective.
Okay. I get it. Okay. So I could only beat up my little brother. You can't.
You can't.
Yeah,
That's absolutely right, man.
See.
Hey, but let me just say, I really appreciate being on the show. I appreciate what you do. I think it's really nice, man. I think we talked and argued about you're a historian, you're a public historian, and you're making it important. Stop rolling your eyes, man. Jesus Christ. That's exactly what you do. Don't undersell what you do. It's really important and valuable. And I really appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you. It's great having you. We'll be right back, folks.
Now would be a good time to get up and stretch. Blood clots are deadly. We'll be back.
You've heard us promote various ways that you can help us keep the show going. But one way we haven't pushed too much yet is our sutlery at addressinggettysburg.com/shop. And that's a shame, because we have designs over there by talented artists like Ty DeWitt of 1863 Designs and Mike Stretch of the Heritage Depot. So now we're promoting it. Buying shirts, hoodies, mugs, and other items from our sutlery not only helps us keep the lights on, but it also helps guys like Ty and Mike, and it helps spread the word about the show every time you wear an item or sip from your mug. So please, head over to addressinggettysburg.com/shop and grab some merch. You just might find the perfect Christmas gift for the Gettys nerd in your family. That's addressinggettysburg.com/shop. Winter is coming. But that doesn't mean there's no reason for you to come to Gettysburg. In fact, there are more reasons for you to come to Gettysburg. Don't believe me? Well, how about not having to wait an hour and a half for a table at your favorite restaurant? How about not having to sit in traffic for a half an hour just to go 2 blocks in town? Are those not enough for you? Okay. How about seeing the battlefield with no leaves on the trees or corn that grows taller than a man to obscure your views? Now you'll actually be able to see the lay of the land. Now I've got your interest. All right, what about this? Licensed battlefield guides that we have on the show have less hectic schedules, and they're able to take you on a tour that will enhance that better visibility. Just as I thought. Now you're with me. And now that you are, head over to addressinggettysburg.com/LBG or call 717-693-0182 for larger groups. That's addressinggettysburg.com/LBG or 717-693-0182. Experience the magic of Christmas in Gettysburg. Stroll decorated streets on a festive walking food tour highlighting the sights, sounds, and unique tastes of this historic town. Enjoy stops at some of the best eateries, all while learning fascinating facts about early Christmas traditions. Admire the glittering lights, decorated storefronts, and our grand 30-foot Christmas tree in Lincoln Square, all adding to the ambiance of the most wonderful time of the year. Get started on Christmas shopping for your loved ones as we visit a few downtown stores that offer one-of-a-kind Christmas gifts, a perfect opportunity for any last-minute gift hunting you need to get done. Enjoy a private holiday tour through the Shriver House with dessert in the Shriver Saloon. This special tour will transport you back in time to Christmases of yesteryear. So make a new Christmas tradition with your family and friends. The Christmas Tastes and Traditions Food Tour promises to be delicious, delightful, and decidedly local. Go to SavorGettysburgFoodTours.com and book your tour today. That's SavorGettysburgFoodTours.com. Well, the 2021 season is over, But that doesn't mean you can't get a jump on next season. In fact, Getty's Bike Tours will reward those who do so with a 15% discount. All you got to do is book a tour for 2 people or more between now and March 31st of 2022, and you'll receive 15% off your tour. So call 717-752-7752 and book today. Discount only applies to tours. Our favorite bookstore in Gettysburg is For the Historian, located at 42 York Street. Isn't it, Eric?
You're darn tootin', Matt.
It's because they have the best selection of Civil War books in Gettysburg, both new and used, and online they have even more books to choose from.
But Matthew, what if the Civil War is simply not my thing?
Not a problem, my fine four-fendered friend. This is For the Historian, after all. They cover history from the ancient world to the 21st century with a strong selection of World War II and American Revolution books.
It's astounding how they squeeze thousands of titles from Osprey, Savas Beatty, UNC Press, and more into their store.
And it's also astounding how you and I both squeeze into our pants every day. Well, handsome, they have a warehouse too, and that's where they keep all those books that are available online at forthehistorian.com. And folks, if you go to forthehistorian.com now and order books until you're blue in the face, be sure you mention that you heard about them on Addressing Gettysburg in the Note to Seller box, and they will refund your shipping costs.
What if I prefer to browse in the store and don't want to go online to get my book?
Great question, Doodlebug. Just mention Addressing Gettysburg at checkout, and they'll take 20% off the retail price of your item. So go to forthehistorian.com, stop by 42 York Street, or call 717-685-5207. That's forthehistorian.com or 717-685-5207. Audiobook narrator Mike Scott. When selecting your next audiobook, choose from some of the great titles narrated by audiobook narrator Mike Scott, like Bloody Autumn, the Shenandoah Valley Campaign of 1864. And if you're an author or publisher interested in having your written works produced as audiobooks, give Mike a shout at MikeScottVoice.com. Mike Scott, the voice of history. And Civil War Trails. It's the world's largest open-air museum, and they offer over 1,300 sites across 6 states. Drive the Gettysburg Campaign turn by turn, paddle to Frederick Douglass's birthplace, or hike to remote earthworks and artillery positions. Visit civilwartrails.org to request a brochure and explore their interactive map. Follow Civil War Trails and create some history of your own.
Need a Corps badge or other insignia for your uniform? Then check out the Badge Maker. Here's what some of his satisfied customers had to say. Miranda said, I ordered an identification disc from Joe and it's fantastic. He hand stamped it exactly as I wanted. It has a great rough on-campaign feel to it and was reasonably priced to boot. Greg said, my unit has purchased from him in the past. Quality badges and good service. And Jerry S. says, the Badge Maker is the go-to place for accurate replica Civil War badges. Visit CivilWarCorpsBadges.com and attach a message with your order saying you heard about him on Addressing Gettysburg.
Gettysburg, A Nation Divided mobile app is relaunching this summer. Gettysburg, A Nation Divided is an award-winning mixed reality mobile application using augmented reality technology. It transports users into the most crucial moments in the Battle of Gettysburg, the turning point of the Civil War. Users can listen and watch historic figures share their stories as lifelike animated avatars, traverse 360-degree image sequences of the battlefield. Its cinematic battle sequences are narrated by actor Scott Eastwood. The mobile app is available for free on iOS and Android. It's designed to be used anywhere, at home, at school, at the park, or at Gettysburg National Military Park. It uses GPS to help guide you through your journey to see the stories and events unfold at the exact location where they occurred. So go into your phone's app store and get it now for free. That's Gettysburg, A Nation Divided.
What's up, everybody? It's Pat McGuire, co-host of the History Things podcast. Co-host Matt Borders and I offer a fresh new podcast taking on some of the most famous as well as some of the most unheard of stories from U.S. and world history. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram at the History Things podcast. As always, thanks for listening. Now back to the show.
You're listening to the man who is adored by his haters and just tolerated by his fans. Here's Matt on Addressing Gettysburg Today.
That's right. Tolerated by fans and family. Just tolerated. That's it. So Mike Lentz has moved up to the co-host chair there. Pete had to leave. Thank you, Pete, for coming in. And thank you, Mike, for filling in here as well. And also joining us in the third chair is Colby Sumner.
Happy to be here.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't turn you up there.
Am I still muted?
Yeah, you're
not the only one.
No, you're unmuted. Anyway, we're just what were we saying? Oh, yes, I was introducing Colby. I'm sorry. Hello, Colby. How are you?
How's it going, bud?
Now, Colby, you're working on. You just moved to the area. You're working on your own show that'll be out summertime-ish.
Yep.
Called America Fog of War.
Right. Very spooky.
Yeah, sounds like a video game name. That's a good name for a video game.
You know, if I don't make it as a podcaster, I guess I could go into marketing some way and try to.
There you go.
You know,
there
jingles,
you go.
names, whatever.
But I think this will do well from what you've told me about it. I remember saying to you, and I said this before when you were on the Patreon episode that you were on. I feel like I'm giving advice to the guy who's going to easily and quickly surpass me. So
I appreciate the praise, but I don't know. It's going to take some time for sure. I'm very excited about the content we're coming up with, and we just got a studio space. We're getting it all set up and ready, and things are just moving along, man.
Well, very good, very good. Good luck with all that stuff, and of course, Owen the Clapper is still over there in the corner, and he's pouting because Colby's sitting in his chair now. Okay. He's not very happy about that. Okay, so show news. Speaking of content, coming up on Monday, ladies and gentlemen, on the free feed. Private Confederacies with James Brumel from Shepherd University, the alma mater of our buddy Cam Mallow. Of course, that's where he graduated from, and that wasn't his first choice, though, Mike. You know what his first choice was?
Otherspen, Broderson.
That's right. That's right. It was. Good guess. But anyway, so that's on Monday's free feed release. And then on Patreon, we have an interview with Gettysburg actor Tim Ruddy, who played Major Marshall on Lee's staff. And also he was in Gods and Generals, not as Marshall, though. He as a private Macmillan. I don't know that I'd have to go back and watch Gods and Generals now, which I don't really want to do.
Christ.
I know. So maybe if somebody out there wants to rewatch it for us and let us know where
we could make a weekend of it, just like have a sleepover.
That sounds like such a great time.
We could watch Gettysburg and then Gods and Generals, and then Copperhead.
Oh
goodness.
No. Thank you.
See, here's
all of the greats.
Here's a legitimate opportunity. We could do a Mystery Science Theater 3000 type of situation.
I want to.
Just film it from the back, and we're just hurling insults at it. Yeah.
You know, when we were
kind of did that over at the seminary.
Yeah, we did. that was like the,
and I've noticed
the test run.
I've noticed that none of them have spoken to us since then.
None of the seminary people? No, I just saw Pete Mealy this morning, and Rob emailed me later in the morning. Yeah, no. They're still at least pretending to be fine with us. I don't know. But no, so what I noticed was on Facebook, I did, you know, the when we were watching the movie Gettysburg at the seminary, I did most of the live videos on Facebook, but I did one on Instagram and one on YouTube just to see if I'd get, you know, a different audience or whatever. YouTube copyright striked it.
Shut you down.
Well, yeah, of course.
But Facebook didn't. So I think we actually could get away with a Mystery Science Theater 3000 version of the movie Gettysburg. And I actually would like to do that between Christmas and New Year's, where we just sit here and watch it and make fun of it.
Oh,
that'd be awesome.
Amazing.
Yeah, I think it would be great. I'm going to ask him if he'll come.
Who?
Bo.
Oh my God! This year couldn't have gotten any better.
We're gonna have him read his own lines.
Yeah,
just like just mute the movie when he's supposed to speak and have him
see
do
if he
it.
remembers the lines.
No.
I must have all possible information.
Yes, sir.
Well, anyway, so I'd like to try to do that if we can. Just get together one night and sit here and do that and just watch it. We can put it up on the monitor there, you know. And
should I bring a sleeping bag?
Andy Hunt has an interesting suggestion. We should have a contest to see what patron would be allowed in.
Allowed in
to watch.
To the
Oh.
Into the
well,
Interesting.
Andy, it depends. If the parcel that you asked my address for that you're sending me arrives before then, you're more than welcome to come in. There's a price for everything, folks. No, that's a great idea. We should have a contest. I don't know. If somebody calls in and wins a Dan Butterfield, and you're not going to win a Dan Butterfield just for calling in. You got to actually call in with something good.
We could do like a, I don't know, a Zoom paper rock scissors contest.
Oh, that sounds
in
fantastic.
a bracket.
How would that work?
I don't know.
A Zoom paper rock scissors contest.
Yeah, they just they call into the Zoom.
Yeah.
It's best out of 3. Whatever.
They
move on to the next bracket.
Play.
Yeah, absolutely. Rock, paper, scissors.
I love that idea.
Are they playing against Matt? Or are they playing against
No,
other?
they're playing against each other.
Against each other. So
we're already in
we're already
What the
here.
hell do we need to win?
Right. I just wanted to make sure I was clear on the rules of the game.
Bill Escort says we should go by total amount donated.
No, he might win. It's either him or Lentz. Well, Lentz will already be here.
So Bill's the winner.
So
then.
it would have to be Bill. Okay, that was pretty easy of you, Bill.
Beth says have an auction.
Ooh.
I don't know.
Auction. I like that idea. What are we going to auction off?
A ticket.
A ticket to what?
Bingo.
Oh, to the thing.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I like the way you think. All right, so we'll auction off a ticket. Start the bidding at $500.
Yeah. Okay.
No. I'm starting the bidding at $500.
Well,
nobody's going to come.
There you go.
We got to get the show. We got to find find an online group for rich people.
Yeah,
and start pushing the show in there.
Okay.
And then some big deep pocketed benefactor will come along and say, "Oh hey, I like what these people are doing. I think I'm going to give them
people
a
who
sum
talk
of
like that.
$500,000." And then what?
People who talk like that don't listen to us
now. But I'm saying we need to get into
figure
that
out a way
group.
to get
Yeah,
to that audience.
yeah.
That's the target market there.
Great.
Matt's still angling for that $1,000 microphone. It's still hanging out there. Let's go.
It's killing me, man. It's killing me. I love that thing. A friend of mine has it, so I have actually tried it.
Give him any more goddamn microphones.
Listen, I can relate
He'll
though.
Switch them every week.
That's the thing.
This is the live show mic, and then the other one is the Ask a Guide mic. Don't ask me why.
There's something about being an artist in your.
But why?
It's a thing,
Why should you not ask me why or why?
Why?
Eric, it's okay.
Because I'll be honest with you, you sound the exact same to me, no matter what.
But not to me.
It's like pairs of underwear. You can't just have one.
Well, I do, but
I don't have any. If we're honest.
Ooh.
Yeah, mine's hanging on my wall.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, I don't wear it either because it gets so freaking hot when you're inside in the winter, and underwear is ridiculous.
Just wear PT shorts.
I mean, if someone's dragging me out and I'm going to be outside all day in the dead of winter, I'll wear some underwear.
No,
we got to keep things warm. Not you, even in the dead of winter. No.
Eric says that's when he thrives.
No, I can't do that.
You got it.
What'd you say?
He said Eric says that's when he thrives. Commando in the freezing cold. Dude. Can't beat it.
Commando, frightened turtle. Hey, I'd like to thank John Pinkerton for hooking us up with Tim Ruddy for that interview. I forgot to mention that before. So thanks very much. Yeah. Where were you on that one, Owen? He had to tell you to clap.
He's sulking in the corner.
Oh, God. Hey.
Want the Kenrich death chair? I can allow you to have the Kenrich death chair.
The Kenrich death chair.
Yeah, I mean, if we're honest, Mike's probably going to die over there at some point during this.
I know.
For my own safety, this is probably... Yes, this is probably what's needed.
Can we fashion some kind of a harness that will be screwed into the table so that if the thing were to give out on you...
that won't work.
So we're going to John Bell Hood this thing? We're going to basically just...
No, we're gonna. Yeah, that's what we'll do. We'll have a harness anchor to the ceiling.
Yeah,
so
but then there's going to be a whole lot of questions from people who come in here and don't know what that is.
What kind of podcast are you doing? Is this on OnlyFans?
What the fuck is going on in this small black room?
Eric, with your language.
Oh yeah,
there's children in the audience.
My bad.
God damn it.
My bad, guys.
Oh,
Yes, Mike,
well,
we
there
have
you- okay.
ended the TMI portion of the show.
We really have. Let's
Welcome.
get in. Let's get in. By the way, folks, if you want to call in, look, it's a free form. You know, it's the end of the year.
We're really
Holidays
just
are coming
making
up.
this up as
We're
we're
winging
going
this.
on anyways.
Why don't you call in, contribute something? We'd love to hear from you. Please give us a call, and maybe if you win a Dan Butterfield, you get to sit in when we Mystery Science Theater the movie Gettysburg. But we're also going to auction it off.
Beth wants the link for the Amazon wish list. Where is
Thank you, Beth. Thank you.
Don't buy
where
any
is
more
it?
microphones.
Shut. All right, I'm muting you.
Unmute me!
I have so many off mic unmute me's now.
And
where
they get angrier and angrier.
It was. It might be. In fact, I don't know if it is, but if you go to the website, there's a tab that says "Support the Show." But Beth, I'll send it to you later because I don't think it's on there. But also, if you go back to the show descriptions from any of the episodes that came out last winter, like a year ago, and into the winter, I think I put links to the wish list on there until we basically had everything that we needed. But now that you mentioned that, I'm gonna. Eric, is it on the support us?
I'm looking.
Okay, I know. So, hold on, sweetheart. Just relax. It's not on there, is it?
No, it sure isn't.
Okay, so I'm going to have Mike Stretch put that on there for us.
Curiously, Bitcoin donation?
Sure. Bitcoin will take it all. That's the only thing that's going to be worth anything.
They donated a Bitcoin to us?
I've gotten fractions of Bitcoin.
I was gonna say,
if I had a Bitcoin,
full Bitcoin, you'd be doing great
I'd retire.
right now.
I'd retire on a little cabin on a mountaintop. Never have to talk to anybody ever again.
Is that what you would do, though?
If I had the money, I would buy an island in the
Secluded,
Caribbean,
all by yourself.
Yeah, no, just in the middle of a lake in New Jersey.
Okay.
And
why would you go back
no,
to
I wouldn't,
Jersey?
Eric, it's a joke. You know I would never go back there. No, what I would do here's what I would do. Let's go around the room and do this before we get to listener email. If you won the lottery, and I'm talking, you win that one that's $500 million. You know, the Powerball or the other one. They get up that high, 500 million, something like that. You win one of those, okay? More money than God, almost.
Hook a brother up.
Right. Hook a brother up. What do you do? I'll start. Here's what I would do.
Tell me.
I would, all the people that are close to me, people that I like having around.
Right.
Well,
That when I want to do
All two of
something,
them.
but they're all like, nah, I got to work and I got to do this. I got the kids, whatever. Here's what I would do. I'm going to give you $1 million. I'm just giving you $1 million. You better do something smart with it. But I'm giving you this $1 million because I want you to be available to play with me when I want to play. Okay?
That sounds
That's
weird.
fair.
Well, okay,
That's
okay,
fair.
okay.
In certain cases, it might be exactly that. But in most cases, it's just like, let's go get dinner. Let's go to the beach. Let's do this.
Right, I'm out.
So Matt, so we've gone in the last 10 minutes from rigging up a harness from the ceiling in the studio to paying $1 million to people to come and play with you.
me. We're not done.
Okay,
Thank you.
I'm out. Thank you.
Thank you. We got more. Don't worry. Bigger chunk of money is going to go. I'm going to build shelters for abused women and children across the. Why are you laughing at that? You sick mother bastard.
That's disgusting.
Why would you laugh at that?
That's your plan?
That's part of my plan. Like $20 million of my $500 million. Yes.
Just invest in firearms training, then you don't need the shelter.
How do you know that my shelter isn't going to include that, Owen? I believe in practical solutions to problems, okay? I'm also going to start an anti-bullying campaign that'll go in all the public schools. And you know what it's going to be? You know what the answer is going to be? Punch him in the nose. Punch your bully in the nose and he'll leave you alone. That's what I did. That's what Eric did. That's what Mike did.
You get the tactile, sweet feel of that pop when you do it too. It's
exactly,
just fantastic.
and then you see the blood.
It's instantaneous.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
And guess what he does? He cries and he runs and he goes to the other side of the hall when he sees you next time.
It's all over.
Yeah,
it's all over. It's quicker than taking a Band-Aid off.
It's true. All this boo-hoo, wah-wah, bully. Beat him up. He's a wimp. Beat up the bully.
And somehow I am the heartless, piss poor influence on children. Somehow it's me. I'm the one.
Is good for society.
Just beat him up. Beat him up in the hallway, guys.
No. Actually, I'm sorry. You're right. I use the term beat him up. Just pop him in the nose. One pop in the nose. A good, well-placed pop in the nose. That's it. Because you got to understand, the bully is scared. The bully is being bullied at home. He's really someone who deserves sympathy, but he doesn't warrant it to people because he's picking on other people. But that one person that says, you know what, Mr. Bully? Boom, right in the nose. That person, he's the new hero.
I don't know about all
I'm
that.
telling you, it works. It has worked for me. It has worked for everybody I know that has stood up to a bully.
Apparently, that's what you're supposed to do when you go to prison, you know?
Well, I don't know anything about that, and I don't want to know anything about that.
That's what the movies all say.
Yeah, I don't know. I've heard many theories about what you're supposed to do in prison, and all of them sound horrible. Okay, so then there's the shelter for the abused people. Right.
Okay.
And then I'm going to take the rest of it and buy something remote and never talk to you MFers again.
Just out.
Except for when I want to play.
Okay.
And then you're going to take some of that $1 million and fly out to my remote hideaway. And then we have fun. I mean, I'm talking fun.
Like big fun. Like
Horses. We're going to ride
fun.
horses. We're going to shoot guns. I'll have a big stage set up with like professional equipment and we'll just jam and everything. I'll get back to playing music.
Good days.
Who knows? Whatever. I've got $500 million. I could do plenty of things in this world.
Well, I mean, now you're down a few million.
A few million.
Yeah, I mean,
a few million. I still got hundreds of millions more. Of course, there's the taxes.
Yeah.
But even still, I couldn't spend all that money.
It would appear that Beth and Bill are in a bidding war.
And what is the bid up to?
It's 600 right now.
Oh, look at that. Who was crazy for starting at 500?
We're not holding anybody to that for fuck's sake.
I'm holding. All right, I'm going to mute you now because you are talking us out of a good thing.
I can talk loud enough to be heard.
Not if I mute all. We are not able to be heard now.
But I have the comments.
We absolutely are going to hold people to whatever the highest bid is. The bidding ends at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So right now the highest bid is $600. $600. Go to see the Gettysburg movie. It was 2000 right here. 650. 650. 650. 650 over there. Do I hear 655? 665.
I think Owen raised his hand.
Owen gave me the finger. Let's get to some listener emails, ladies and gentlemen. Clearly, what, Eric?
Never mind.
What happened? Are we up?
Thank God.
Okay.
I've got to clear my good name.
What did you do?
The reason I started laughing is because I remembered this moment from the DNC debates.
Change the culture. No man has a right to raise a hand to a woman in anger other than in self-defense, and that's rarely ever occurs. And so we have to just change the culture, period, and keep punching at it and punching at it and punching at it. It will be a big... No, I really mean it.
Wait, I don't understand your train of thought, Owen. What does that have to do?
About sexual violence, and then he says we need to keep punching at it. How? Oh my God!
Come on. Come on, man.
Correlation.
All men and women created by go. You know the thing.
All right, let's get off of Uncle Joe here and move on to our listener emails. Hi, Matt and gang. I listened to the December 3rd Today Show. Thank you for including Jacob's interview. This is Jacob's mom, by the way. He was starstruck meeting you, Gary, and Tim. I can verify that you did very little editing to that interview, but Jacob is very good at telling people what they want to hear. Well, why are you taking that away from me right there? You just...
I met him, and he, didn't give a shit at all.
About you?
Yeah.
Well, because you're the heartless one.
Absolutely.
This is the same kid that was on the tour.
This really bothers Eric that he was deemed heartless by an 8-year-old. I mean, he has not let this go for a week, right? Like he just last night.
It looks like it hurt his feelings.
Last night,
how many 3-year-olds have called you heartless?
My nephew, then my niece when she turned 3. None actually. They love me, but well, he was joking. Eric.
It's fine. Carry on.
Is that the same kid that was on the Get Out of the Car tour?
No, that's Gideon.
Oh. So you got 2 genius kids running around here about the Civil War? That's
well, we attract geniuses and Owen. As I listened to that episode, I just nodded my head in agreement with all of you as you listed your pet peeves concerning the English language. I'm not an English major or grammar Nazi, But I am learning a whole new language living with Raymond, who's her husband, who is originally from York County. At his 40th birthday party, their entire group of friends wore shirts with Rayisms on them. Being from York, he has that PA Dutch heritage, and it's reflected in his speech. In fact, for his 40th birthday, our friends found a book called Dutchified English. Don't you have that book, Eric? I've heard
No.
that. I've heard of that book before.
I have damn Dutch.
That just listed all of the things we hear out of Ray's mouth. Some of them include, but are not limited to, ladies and gentlemen, ain't, but not in the way that we use it. He doesn't say, that ain't right. He uses it as a nod of agreement to something someone says. I say, Addressing Gettysburg is the best podcast out there. And he would respond with, ain't.
That would confuse me.
That
would confuse me.
That would confuse me as well. Welp. He would say, welp, I guess it's time to go. All. He would say, is the milk all? When asking if the milk is gone. I've heard that before.
I've heard whelp. I've never heard all before.
I've never heard, yeah.
What have you heard?
Whelp. I've heard that one before.
Yeah.
I mean, that
no, you've never heard that, Eric?
The all thing?
Yeah.
No, absolutely
Oh,
not.
I've heard that. And now this is an interesting one. De-thaw. This one is debated among many. If you're de-thawing something, aren't you
just freeze
freezing
it.
it?
Right.
Yes.
Nope. According to the PA Dutch, you're thawing it out.
I am Dutch, and I've never heard these things.
Are you PA Dutch?
Yes.
Well, then you're not,
Thawing is
you're
thawing
not
is
Southern PA Dutch, Eric. You have to be
Clearly.
Southern PA
Well,
Dutch.
you know.
Are they saying that thawing is freezing? Is that what they're saying there?
No. They say de-thaw that chicken.
Right.
When they
means to thaw
mean
the chicken.
thaw it.
Yeah.
But de-thawing, if you're speaking English,
Yeah.
means freezing it.
Yeah. Right.
It's the opposite. You're doing the
So
opposite.
what do they
of thaw.
say when they want you to stick it in the freezer?
When they
Thaw
want
it?
you to what?
When they want you to stick it in the freezer, they say thaw it.
No, they say freeze it.
Yeah.
Well, that's all kinds of confusion.
That's exactly right. Outen.
It's like saying irregardless.
Yeah.
Irregardless.
So it has regard. Or
Right,
with regard.
exactly.
Yeah, cool.
Out in the lights. The first time Raymond said this to me after we moved in together, I spit out my coffee and had to have him explain it to me. We might turn off the lights, but the PA Dutch, out in the lights. I asked him once, do you on the lights? Nope. He turns them on. You figure it out. I can't. Then there were a few things that that are really just lazy English. Tomorrow. What do you think tomorrow is?
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
Yeah.
And he spells it that way too. Tomar.
No.
Breakfast.
Breakfast.
Let's go have some breakfast. I got a hankering for a good breakfast
He's
sandwich.
from New York?
Yeah.
This sounds very Pittsburghese to me.
It sounds. Coming from New Jersey, we would just lump this all in as Pennsylvania.
This sounds like a yin's.
Warsh, and Wooder.
Warsh always bothered me.
Yeah.
I always felt like there's no R in wash, and there's also no. There's
Yeah.
like what is it? Crick and roof.
Crick.
Crick and
Roof.
See, crick I use
Come
on
on.
a regular basis.
Crick.
Yeah, it's a crick.
It's only acceptable if it's a really tiny.
It really depends on the body of water that you're talking about, whether it is a run, a stream, a crick, or a creek, or maybe a river.
Yeah. I mean, is a crick between a stream and a creek?
That's what I would feel.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
most of the time,
Are there blurred lines
Most
there?
of the time.
you just pronounce both of them as crick
See,
Mm.
that's why I
because
have
it's
to
really
disagree.
supposed to be creek.
I'm with Colby on this one.
I didn't
We
say
could
it
go down
made
a rabbit
sense.
hole on this. Do you guys say either or either? My wife and I were in an argument about this the other day. Do you guys say either or either?
It depends.
Depends on the
Depends.
company I'm in.
Yeah.
Okay, well, do you say neither or neither?
It depends.
Neither.
Really?
Yeah.
Thank you,
Yeah, I
sir.
say neither.
I feel
I
like
said neither,
neither
yeah.
sounds like the
Neither.
worst English ever. But that could just be, I mean, maybe-
Well, somebody says, I don't feel well after eating that Chinese food. Do I say me neither?
I would say
I'll
neither
say-
do I.
Neither do I, yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
But if I'm going to say me neither or neither, it sounds better saying me neither than it does me neither.
Okay, I could accept that though. That's fair. There are like circumstances, I guess, where neither would work.
Or I would say, nor do I.
Nor do I.
Oh, listen to you.
Thank you.
Oh,
So
you
proper.
pinky out son of a bitch.
Have a good one, guys, and thanks for the laughs as always, Carrie. Hi, Matt. I became a patron because I enjoy the webcasts, especially when you have guests like Gary, Tim, or other LBGs and Civil War experts. I particularly love experts where experts debate the most controversial aspects of the battle, like Chamberlain's role, Smith's refusal to fight at night on Culp's Hill, and Barlow's move out to the knoll. I suggest an episode on Camp Letterman and the aftermath, Lee's retreat, and the feud between Oates and Chamberlain after the war. I would like to hear Hartwig and Edelman debate the photo locations. I'm still catching up on past episodes, so if any of the subjects have already been covered, I apologize. Todd Rhodes. Todd, thank you for becoming a patron, and thank you for those suggestions. The Camp Letterman one, I've been trying to find somebody to do for like a year and a half, and I don't know. We'll get someone there. But all these things, Lee's retreat we did, the feud between Oates and Chamberlain, that's a good one. We'll get someone for that too. Hi, Matt. I found your content on YouTube. I really enjoy the topics discussed that are related to the battle, especially the more obscure topics like Captain Johnston's scout of the Union left flank on July 2nd, or the less heralded General Greene's brigade on Culp's Hill. Now that I have become a Patreon member, I noticed that there are episodes that I can find on YouTube and Apple Podcasts that are not available to me on Patreon. Why would this be? Thanks, from Kevin. Okay, so Kevin, and this is a good question because I do get the sense that there are some people that don't quite understand how it all works. Patreon is not like a one-stop shop to find all of our material. Yeah. Patreon is exclusive material produced exclusively for our supporters. And I've said this before, I'll say it again. The simple reason being, if you're going to part with your money and send it our way, then we want to give you something in return. We don't want to just take your money simply because we're fabulous. I mean, come on. I mean, that's crazy. We want you to get something in return, and what we want you to get is a further education on this stuff that helps put Gettysburg into perspective. So the stuff that you're getting on the free feed is very like not pop culture, but it's intended more for a mainstream audience to, hopefully the people who are really into this stuff will like it, but also someone who just stumbles upon it who's kind of not really into it might listen and go, this is actually kind of interesting, and it grows from there. So Patreon is a lot more, and honestly, if you're listening to the free feed, back in, what was it, September, October, Eric? Do you remember when we started putting out I think it was September. We started putting out the Patreon episodes.
Yeah, it was September.
So those are old Patreon episodes. So a Patreon episode, with a few exceptions, has to be 6 months or older for it to be able to be released for free. And the reason for that is because people pay for it. And I want to give them enough time to hog it to themselves until I feel, okay, they've had their chance, and now I'm going to put it out there for the public. And the whole idea is that the public actually learns a little bit more and sees just the breadth of the work that we're doing and how much work we're doing, and that we're doing it all for you guys. I mean, of course, we have our selfish reasons, like we like doing it. We want to learn ourselves, and we don't want to sit and read, so it's easier to talk to people, those things. But if we're all learning, if there's a value for everybody, then everybody does well. So, so the stuff that you're going to hear on Patreon is solely for the patrons, and you're not going. Although I am going to start to put the Ask a Guides on there for without commercials, because I can. Hi, Matt. Thanks for the welcome. That was to Patreon. Answer your questions below. Here we go. I came across Address at Gettysburg just through searching the Apple Podcast app for the term Gettysburg, as I had been spending much time on the battlefield as a socially distanced pastime in 2020 and wanted to add further context to what I was exploring there. I decided to become a patron for two reasons. First, it is clear the level of work that goes into each episode through preparation, logistics, etc., and I wanted to help the program by contributing a small token of thanks. Also, I look forward to the members-only material, such as the interview with Caroline Janey, who we just had on a couple weeks ago. Curious to see what else there is in the now accessible archives. Thanks again, and keep up the great work. Andrew, you're welcome, Andrew. Thank you. And that was listener email, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, emailing listeners. Listener email is taken from all sources. Matt at Addressing Gettysburg, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. What's the other thing? Patreon itself. So, yeah. What are you laughing at, Mike?
No, I'm just having fun.
Okay. All right. I'm worried. It's just the way.
Well, I'm also in pain, so laughing is like instead of crying.
Oh,
so,
yes.
Yeah.
Get the dopamine out there.
And I've got a little tissue here just in case.
Do you want to hear yourself laugh to make yourself laugh to feel better?
Chick-fil-A corporate is very protective of their taste profile.
Oh, well, there you... Okay.
All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we have come to the part of the show where normally Veronica does news, but Veronica's not here. She had 2 trials this afternoon, and so she wasn't going to be able to. Thank you. She wasn't going to be able to make it, so we're not doing the news. But you know what that means, though. We still have to tell you what you can look forward to this weekend when you come to Gettysburg. So,
This weekend, where the action is.
What's there to do and see when you're in town this weekend? Here's Valerie, Veronica, to fill you in.
It's all covered.
hi, it's me, Veronica. How are you? All right. You guys know it's not Veronica, so I'm not going to bother trying to do a bad impression ever. What do we got going on this weekend, folks? Well, I'm just going to run it down real quick. Tim Smith's Sunday Lecture. Have you noticed, by the way, on the free feed that Timmy Smith's lectures are making their way back out? And guess what else is going to be coming up if COVID doesn't ruin it for us again, is the Park Services Winter Lecture Series. We'll also be putting that out there. And I'm working on getting a hold of a video camera, and we have to believe that we are going to be putting them on the YouTube page in video, because last year people were going, I like the lectures and all, but where's the video? And they can't understand audio only on YouTube. Like, it throws them off.
Right.
So I'm borrowing a camera, because I've got cameras, but they're not meant to go for an hour straight. So I'm borrowing a camera from a friend who it is meant to go that long.
Well, if you need a buddy for that,
I
I've
do.
been dying to go to those winter lectures.
Well, they're free. You don't.
I want to go, but I want to go with the great.
I
want to go with the great Matt Calorie,
Naturally.
like the celebrity of Gettysburg.
Oh, poor Eric.
Eric, I assumed our bond was. There was no need to speak of it.
No,
it was
just
it was there at a core level.
No, he's an 8-year-old.
I'm learning. He's a little bit of a teddy bear. He's kind of he has
a big
feelings.
teddy bear.
He has feelings.
He does, but he'll never admit them.
But he's got a hard outer shell. He's kind of like a
He's a sergeant.
Yeah.
Something fucking staff sergeant. Get that shit right.
Whoa. Yeah, don't mess
He's
up
a staff
that now.
sergeant.
I have a question. In the Army, do they do that where they'll call like the different ranks sergeant?
Yeah, it's all sergeant.
It's all
unless
sergeant.
you're a first sergeant, and then you're a first sergeant or a sergeant major, which is sergeant major.
That's first sergeant.
I feel like sergeant first class is a mouthful. They don't let you do that in the Marine Corps. You gotta call that rank, like the full rank.
Yeah, no, I never understood that.
Gunnery sergeant can be a big mouthful too if you're in a hurry.
I am a very pretty man.
Agreed.
It's true.
Agreed.
It's true. It's unfortunate I'm the one that had to say it. That's all right. It's all right.
But you've got some pretty wise things that you say, like this one.
If it looks like a duck, walks like a duck, quacks like a duck, it's not a chicken.
You know,
fair enough.
I couldn't agree more.
Oh my God, I love Bill Letzcorn.
Just equally
That's my
profound.
Anyway, Tim's lecture this weekend is at the Farnsworth House. It's called The Eye of the Storm. What do you think it's about, Lentz?
It's probably the civilians at Gettysburg during the battle.
Nope,
Okay,
it's about opticians in Adams County from 1750 to 1812.
Nope, that's wrong too. It's about the way Adams County survived Hurricane Sandy just a few years ago.
Oh, yeah.
Is it really?
Oh, there you go. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
No. It's about the history of the area around the Farnsworth House during the battle, guys. There it is in the eye of the storm, not too far from where that dope Jenny Wade got shot and killed because nobody in that house or nobody around the house thought to go, hey, maybe we shouldn't have this woman and these guys. Please, whatever.
Oh.
Who bakes bread in a firefight?
Owen, don't get us started.
Listen, I mean, just speaking from personal experience.
People who've
here,
never been shot at before. That's who.
I feel like typically, if it's a gunfight, most civilians they disappear. You got to be something up with.
I was
going to
say,
around.
Eric, you just said people that have never been shot at. To me, that's something someone who has been shot at would do. Bake bread, and someone who hasn't would hide.
Hard as nails.
Okay.
Yeah.
She was inside of a brick house
in front of a wooden door.
Which, if you don't understand how that works,
well, maybe
that may seem like perfectly plausible.
That's fair. That is fair. You might think that nothing's getting through that. I can see that. I can see that.
I mean, the wind doesn't come through. The rain certainly doesn't.
So why would
bullets?
Right.
No, okay.
I mean, it can't be going that fast.
But hold on a second. A bullet went through the window and hit her sister's headboard right not too long
Windows
before.
are glass. Everybody knows that glass doesn't.
But
hold
rain doesn't
anything
go
out.
through the window.
So
wind doesn't go through the window.
Though. Sunlight does.
See, I don't know.
Bingo. Sunlight doesn't go through a door.
So apparently, the measure of a bullet's quality is sunlight.
There it is. If the sun can't touch it, neither can a bullet.
It's almost like it's almost like the hand of God. The sun can't touch it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Life or death, right there.
I don't know.
I picked some good ones on you, man.
I think that whatever. We could spend hours on Jenny. I want to get Sue Boardman on.
We
and talk
have
about
spent
Jenny
hours on Jenny Wade.
We could spend many more.
Suze, who did the lecture?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
She was phenomenal.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
She's
Sue's
awesome.
a lot of fun.
She's
Absolutely.
awesome.
Yeah. She's great.
Don't worry, guys. I got the Band-Aids.
All right, love it.
You know.
we don't really need him now, but thank you.
Well, not yet.
Well, wait. Yeah, we're getting there.
Mike's still here.
Yes.
Anyway, admission is $15 to Tim's lecture. It begins at 6:30, ladies and gentlemen. 6:30. We were there last week, obviously, because we recorded it, and it's nice. I love this thing about the winters in Gettysburg, or the winter lectures. I've got the time to go to them now, as opposed to the summer. And B, it's something to do in an otherwise boring, depressing time of year. Right? Okay, so that's what you should do if you're here Sunday night. That's Sunday night at 6:30. Get there early, of course. Have something to eat. The Christmas festival is in its second and I believe final week, right? It's only doing 2 weeks of that.
Yeah, it's just this weekend.
Final week this weekend. Come to town, sit on Santa's lap.
Oh, speaking of which, when you go home, don't go down Baltimore Street.
Oh, why?
Because they're having a tuba festival
on
the square starting at 7 o'clock.
Oh,
so
boy.
Tuba festival
tonight.
Yeah, maybe avoid that like the plague.
What time does everything start tomorrow?
The market opens at like 10.
That's phenomenal.
If only I had a bag full of celery,
Keep going.
Carrots. I'm going to bring carrots, actually.
We're getting the vamp signal right now.
Absolutely. Well, if you'll note, I have control of the lights on the walls.
So
we're
I'm giving you background music to your conversation.
It's
Matt,
really annoying.
I have some news. Actually, I'd like to
All
share.
right, Mike Lentz.
Yes, and we are actually somewhat responsible for this.
We are.
Yes.
You and I, or all of us?
Well, those of us who showed up at the 24 hours on the Ridge. Yes. Well, today the Adams County Giving Spree results came out.
Oh, yeah.
And the 24 hours at the Ridge, the Seminary Ridge Museum and Education Center was looking to raise $10,000.
Mm-hmm. And
they raised
$30.
$14,072.
Whoa!
Yeah.
Oh. That's amazing.
And that's including all the money we scared away.
Man.
Yeah.
If only we hadn't been there.
Wait, how is that including all the money?
See, there you go. They could have had more if we weren't there.
Right.
So this is a
that's
remarkable
not counting
feat.
the money
exactly,
they could
not
have had.
counting the money that we scared away. So there you go.
Good for them.
That works.
Well, good for them. It couldn't have gone to a better cause,
And also, Adams County Historical Society reported on their social media feed there that they're about, with the $2 million donation they got here recently.
Yep.
And with the Giving Spree money, they're about 80% on their fund for constructing that little museum that they have
Nice.
there.
So they're getting there. That's another good one.
Yeah, it would appear that they've broken ground on that.
Yeah. So there you go. Some news.
Good. I like that, Mike. Thank you. Thank you for having some news there. All right, let me turn this goddamn music off.
Thank you.
All right, you're welcome. So Christmas Festival, like I was saying, come to town, sit on Santa's lap, get some hot chocolate at the Gettysburg Chocolate Market. By the way, you've been there?
It was very good.
Have you been there yet, Eric?
Yeah.
With me? Was you with me?
Not with you. Why in the hell would I go with you?
We were going to go get a romantic hot cocoa.
You're going to have to come visit me in the morning.
Snuggle.
I'm right next to it now.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's right.
Get hot chocolate together.
Oh, there you
Morning.
go. I like that.
Morning routine. Love it.
Yeah.
Big fan already.
Like an old man, and then would sit next door and have a cigar. Yeah. And complain
But
about
not
the
go
kids
inside,
these days.
But not go inside the store because you'll never get rid of the smell all day.
Yeah, hi, it's so humid out here. Oh, why do I got to wear these long pants?
I love that that's the accent we went with.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, it was like old man just sitting out there
It fits.
complaining.
I love it. You did it great.
Thank you. Why do these Maduros taste so bad? Why can't I get a cigar that just tastes like a cigar? You know.
Now you sound like the Count. From Sesame Street.
One bad cigar.
I had a PL that laughed like that once.
A who? A PL?
Platoon leader, yeah. So we bought him a little Count doll and put it on his desk anonymously. He was very upset. Incredibly upset.
Anonymously.
Yeah.
I love
Just
that.
like snuck in, stuck it on, left, giggling.
Good stuff. And then you could stroll around and see what there is to see. I don't know what there is to see. I mean, right now there's a tuba concert going on. I wish I could have seen that.
I mean, you could if we ended this like now. You know?
I think it's funny. Tuba's with the instrument they decided to go with on this.
Well, it's a traditional Christmas instrument. Yeah.
You're educating me right now.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Well, it's first day of Christmas, right, and then the second day of Christmas it was 2 tuba doves, and then but they changed it to turtle doves.
I gotcha.
Okay.
It just fits better.
Hey, Eric.
Can you flash the
some
lights?
red lights.
All right,
You got her, Mike.
we don't need we don't need that. We don't need no red lights because we know.
Pay attention to it anyway.
I don't pay attention to him anyway. And Owen's saluting. Why are you standing and saluting, Owen? What the hell? What are you doing? What?
Nothing. He's bored.
God.
He doesn't have his Xbox.
Does your whole generation have ad?
There's got to be like some famous person they hooked up to a life support machine and they just really needed to pull it. That's what this show has become in the past 5 minutes.
Say it again.
He hates us.
You're bored because you're not part of the conversation. Isn't that what it is?
Tubas on
All right. What?
Here.
There you go, Owen. Talk. Go ahead. Tell us your deep thoughts. Oh, now he takes it off and chickens out. This is what he does all the time. He's like, you know what he is? This is Owen. Owen's that 4-year-old that goes, Grandma, 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 look what I can do. Look what I have to do. What can you do, honey? And then runs away.
I have a really deep thought for you.
What?
What do you think the first person who discovered milk explained how he did?
All right, we're going to get going. Thank you all. Thanks, Pete Carmichael, for coming on. The rest of you, Mike Lentz as well. We'll see you guys next week. Last show of the year.
Addressing Gettysburg Today is hosted by Matt Callery and Veronica Brestensky, Esquire. Produced by Eric, the producer, Moni. Applause led by Owen the Clapper. Guests of Addressing Gettysburg Today stay wherever they want.
Hold on. I had to do this because the great Trinetti is on the phone. And I can't not let it. And the great Trinetti. Careful there, Mike. Don't. Okay, all right. A great Trinetti.
Hello.
Hey!
There he is. All right, Trinetti, you're at college now. You're finishing up your fall semester. How?
I already finished it.
Okay, you don't have to be literal. Will you let me finish the goddamn sentence? Let's start this again. Let's start it again. All right, Trinetti, so you're at college. You're finishing your first semester. How does it feel?
Feeling pretty good.
And how did you do?
I did well, passing everything.
They haven't kicked you out yet.
Yes. And I'm not doing it next summer because I haven't even declared a major, but I got the opportunity for the it'll be next summer. I might see if they do it again the summer after that to intern at Chickamauga or Chattanooga.
Oh, there you go. Very nice. Very nice. And are you trying to get into are you trying to do the Civil War Institute again, or have you given up on that?
Yeah, I gave up on that one. I'm not too concerned right now.
Never give up, Trinetti. Never give up.
Never let go.
I forgot about it.
I'll never let go, Jack.
Maybe in the future.
See ya.
What?
Yeah, I forgot about that. But yeah, maybe.
Fair enough.
I just wanted to see who would talk first. Well, Trinetti, but do you and Big Kev have any plans to come to Gettysburg during the winter?
Here, just a second. Big Kev!
Hello, everybody!
Hey, Kev.
Hello, Kev.
What's up, Big Kev?
Do we have any plans to go there over the winter?
The Greece, depending might go in January.
I might stop by in January.
Stop by? You're like 8 hours away. What do you mean stop by?
Well, in early January, I'm going up to New York to see my family because I'm
makes sense.
in North Carolina. So
right. Okay.
On the way there or back, we're going to stop.
Well, what's the best memory that you have of your fall semester freshman year of college? Biggest memory that you can share in public?
Keep it clean.
Keep it clean. Unless you know how to hide the dirtiness, which I don't think you do.
I don't know. A lot's happened.
Well, okay. Well, give us one. Have you met a lady? Have you met a lady down there?
No, I have not, unfortunately.
Good for you.
Well, you know what?
Okay.
Enjoy your freedom. Enjoy your freedom, Trinetti.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, so you made some friends, though. You ran for president, didn't you?
Vice president.
Vice president of the United States. You ran.
Yeah. Yep.
And you lost. Did you win?
I won.
Congratulations.
Oh, hey.
So, yeah, I'm the vice president.
I wish I had Hail to the Chief here for you. I don't have it, but go ahead. So you won. So you became vice president, right? What else?
Yep. Nothing too exciting.
What'd you say, Eric?
It's Hail Columbia for vice president.
Oh, thank you. Go ahead, Trinetti. I'm sorry.
So yeah, I mean, it's hard to think off the top of my head like this, but I'm sure when I come and visit, I'll have some stories for you.
Sometimes you have a hard time thinking on the bottom of your head. Isn't that true?
That's true.
Yes, I do too. I'm more of a top head thinker, not a bottom head thinker.
Yes, of course.
Yes.
All right. Well, I'll let you guys go. I just wanted to call and...
All right, Trinetti.
I just wanted to call and say hello.
Listen, we're very happy for you that you had a successful fall semester. You got into a good school. It looks like you're having fun. You're vice president of the freshman class. I'm guessing that's what that's for. Congratulations, Trinity.
Yeah.
You're off to a good start, and I hope you continue that. Don't get into drugs, okay?
Drugs are. I haven't.
Drugs are bad, okay? Just don't get into them. Okay.
All right,
Trinetti. Thank you very much. And we're back to leaving the show. So thank you all for listening. We'll talk to you next week. Oh, we will talk to you next week, you know.
Addressing Gettysburg Today is hosted by Matt Callery and Veronica Brestensky, Esquire. Produced by Eric, the producer, Moni. Applause led by Owen the Clapper. Guests of Addressing Gettysburg Today stay wherever they want. That's not our concern. To be a guest on the show, send an email to eric@addressinggettysburg.com. Addressing Gettysburg broadcasts from the Gettys Bike Tour Studios. Get a 15% discount on your next tour with Gettys Bike. I'm Huevos Grande, the voice of Addressing Gettysburg Today. Thanks for listening.
Joyful tears when they saw the honored flag they had not seen for years.
sang the chorus from Atlanta to the sea. While we were marching through Georgia, while we were marching through Georgia, while we were marching through Georgia.
If it looks like a duck, walks like a duck, quacks like a duck, it's not a chicken.
This concludes our broadcast.
Oh my God, I love Bill Etzkorn.